Hi, and welcome to the Squeaky Wheel Farm. I'm Christine. Now this time of year, my garden gets away from me. Today I'd like to talk to you about some quick tips, some things that I do to help keep me from feeling overwhelmed. Tip number one is to set some time limits. If you can commit to just 15 or 20 minutes a day, that's going to make a big difference in your garden. And if it's going to be really hot out, try to do your work in the early mornings or late evenings so you can avoid the hottest part of the day. Now, if you can do just 10 to 15 minutes in the garden every morning and evening, that's going to add up to over 2 hours over the week, and you're going to enjoy your garden so much more. That's really why we do this anyway. It's because we enjoy it. And tip number two is get some tools to help you. I use mulch between my plants to keep the weeds down. Usually it's just grass clippings and sometimes it's straw. But the weeds can come up in other places, like around my garden beds. And it can get to looking pretty messy. And to take care of that, I just use Weed Whipper. And this one's battery operated, but the batteries don't seem to last very long. So I do have a second one. Even with an extra battery, I sometimes run out of power before I get everything done. So I also have an electric weed eater. Plugs in right here. But it requires an extension cord, and that's just another thing that I have to drag out to the garden. Now, if you're interested in some of the tools that I'm using, I'll put links in the description. Just keep in mind that these are not top of the line. I would consider them a value grade, but they were very affordable and they've lasted for a couple of years for me now, so I think it's a good value. I try to use a leaf blower to keep my pathways clear. It does save my back a lot of work. It leaves just very little for me to have to sweep with a push broom. And tip number three is to put stuff away. I used to work until I was exhausted, always trying to get more done and thinking that I was being productive. The problem with that is I was always too tired to take care of my tools and to put things away. So the next time I needed them, I first of all had to find them. Usually the batteries weren't charged. The cords were all tangled up, and it was a pain. And that was all before I even got started and got any work done. So now I really try to stop before I get exhausted. And I try to put things away where they belong. I charge the batteries, I coil up the cords, and I hang things on the wall or put them on the shelf. It's so important to handle things just once because that's going to save you time. Now, many of these tips may seem really obvious to some people, and if that's the case, congratulations, you're way ahead of the curve. But for somebody like me who's generally unorganized, it took me a while to implement some of these very simple things. And as I got older, I came to realize there is some truth to working smarter, not harder, and in letting the tools do the work. Now, if you do choose to purchase through one of my links in my description, I do get a small commission from Amazon. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and I do appreciate it. So thank you. Well, that's all I have for you right now. Thanks for watching. Oh, and one more thing. I hope to see you again soon. If you got value from this video, watch this next. Oh, and if you'd like to just go to my channel and choose a video for yourself, just click the icon that says the Squeaky Wheel Farm.